Okay.
Hi, Rhys. Thank you so much for helping my project.
No problem, man.
Could you say a couple words about yourself?
I am a filmmaker. I've made short films in the past, and I'm hoping to do longer projects. I've been out of the game for a while, but I am looking to get back into it.
And are your films more like serious or comical, or like how would you describe them?
It's a balance of both. I do some serious stuff. I do some comedy stuff. I have a couple of projects in the pipeline that I would love to do. I'm definitely connected with people now, so hopefully things can get off the ground and definitely make it onto the internet or in film festivals.
Do you work with actors? Like, do you recruit people to perform in your films?
I have not done that before, but I am going to start because I've just recently made some connections. So
That's awesome. And what got you into filmmaking?
what got me into filmmaking was when I was a kid. When I watched movies, it just inspired me to create my own stories, and I like to hear stories from my mom and dad as a kid, and they were just entertaining. And what I wanted to do was tell stories of my own, but in a way that people can see my vision and see the creative things that can come out of one's mind. You know?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I can't wait to see what you produce.
Of course. Yeah, I look forward to producing, and I'm glad to hear that you're interested.
So I had some questions I wanted to ask you. Did you know that NASA is planning to send astronauts back to the moon?
I heard something about that, but I wasn't fully aware of what was going on.
And it might be a question of storytelling. If you were to tell a story about why we're going back to the moon, like how would you approach it as a filmmaker?
As a filmmaker, I would try to find a reason why people would want to go to the moon. Like, is there a way to sustain life there? Has something been discovered there? Is there a way to contact new life? Or could it be like a new environment, a new living habitat, that sort of thing? And it could go in a sci-fi direction, could go in a drama direction, action direction. It could go any direction.
Yeah, I know that's a big challenge because there's so many different reasons to go, but it's not like that really like superpower reason that people are like, well, I mean, we had that at one point, like the Russians were ahead of us in the space race and we needed to catch up, but then we made it and people were like, okay, you made it.
Yes.
When you think about the future of humanity, if you were to look out like 200 years in the future, do you see us having people that live on the moon, Mars, traveling between the planets? I mean, what does it look like to you? Or are we still just here on Earth making these little short trips?
That is a very good question. I know that the Earth has resources that are becoming limited these days, and people are starting to think that maybe it's time we expand and put life elsewhere. My concern is that no other planets, as far as we know, have oxygen for us to breathe. Maybe there is a reason why we're on Earth as opposed to anywhere else. Now, there is a chance that we could find a way to sustain life on other planets or other planetary structures like the moon, but it would have to take some genius thinking in order to do that. And I think that the most creative minds and the most talented minds can definitely make it possible.
And I think of some places where humans routinely live for extended period of times that are without technology, it wouldn't be possible. Like a submarine underneath the water, an airplane high up in the air, the space station, Minneapolis in the winter. These places that are very...
Yeah. Imagine trying to live off in the desert. How would you be able to do that? Like, you'd have to find a place for water, you'd have to find a place for shelter. There's heat during the day, and from what I understand, it gets very cold at night. So how would one sustain themselves? Because you can't rely on cacti forever.
You have to be very thirsty, I guess.
Yeah, you very, very well have to be.
If you could, would you take a trip to space?
It would definitely be an intriguing possibility, yes. From what I understand, I heard that NASA is developing a railroad for the moon.
Wow.
For potential colonies that they want to establish.
Do you think you'll get an opportunity to go to space in your lifetime?
That is a very good question. No one knows what the future holds, but it is definitely something to consider if one wants to explore. Like, I haven't traveled very much in my life, so I would want to explore the rest of the world first. Then I would probably want to see what's out there in space.
That's a good point. I mean, how many people have gone to Antarctica or to Kilimanjaro or, even like sailed the Pacific and seen all the little islands and stuff. There's like so much there.
That's very true. That's very true.
Well, Rhys, thank you so much for your time. It's such a pleasure to get to talk to you for my project.
Oh yeah, no problem. I enjoyed talking to you. This is very informative. I heard something about NASA doing something, but I did not know they were going to go back to the moon, and that is very interesting and exciting because it was a big deal in the '60s, and now we're finally going back. I was wondering when are they going to do that again? And now that they are, I'm happy, because my mom used to work for USA, which is like an ally to NASA, so United Space Alliance. So she was a programmer, and she did help launch shuttles.
Well, that's exciting. Yeah, it's we saw the shuttle launch for like 30 years, and then it kind of disappeared, and now it's we have different spacecraft, and it's kind of interesting to watch how all that's developing.
Yeah, pretty soon we'll have like little airships and cars flying through space trying to get to planets.
That'd be interesting. Well, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you.